would have been able
Preach.
to redirect that. So
Preach.
now I still fight, but I fight in the spirit, and I know
Preach.
who I'm fighting. And so it's my hope that I can remind girls, honey, she's not your enemy. I know that she looks like she doesn't like you. I know that y'all have beef right now,
That's
but it's the spirit of jealousy that you're fighting.
Yes.
It's the spirit of bitterness that you're fighting.
Come on. Come on.
Welcome everybody to our YouTube channel. Today I would like to introduce to you Liv Dooley. So first of all, I would like to start off by saying welcome to our YouTube channel.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Good. So we're going to jump right into it, and I want you to introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am Liv Dooley, and I am a teacher of the Word of God out of Las Vegas, Nevada. It is my absolute favorite thing to do, to bring girls and women to the feet of our Savior. And so I'm excited because I host a series of conferences called Unconditional. And this summer, we're actually going to be having a virtual series. So I also am the author of the Colorfully Candid Diaries, as well as a non-fictional Christian event planning book, and the director of the Colorfully Candid series. So really
good books, and we'll have the links below for those books if you guys want to purchase. Okay, Liv, tell us a little bit about the events that's coming up.
Yes, so this summer I'll be hosting an Unconditional Summer, and I'm going to be hosting that with girls and women throughout North America. So it really is going to be quite impactful because all of the girls and the women that are going to be joining me inspire me every single day. We're going to have 13-year-olds. We're going to have 17-year-olds. We're going to have a couple of us who are not willing to disclose our age. It's just going to be a time where we can encourage one another to remember that despite this time that we're in, God still has plans for us. In fact, Jeremiah 29:11 was written to the Israelites when they were in captivity to remind them that despite the hard things that they are in, that they may continue to endure, God has plans for them, plans of peace and not of disaster, to give them a future and a hope. We're going to be coming together to set a few goals. We're going to be coming together to have some candid conversations. And so I'm excited about those who are going to be joining me. We're going to have Alina Paetz, who was most known for her role in The War Room. She played the little girl in The War Room at the time. She's a teenager now, and she travels and leads worship for groups of teenagers and individuals in the body of Christ. So yes, I'm super excited about what God continues to do through her life. She's an author. She wrote with her mother, who passed recently, but she's continued to just share the love of Christ through the platform that God has given her. So I'm excited that she will be there. Erin Wright Thompson was recently in Overcomer. And so she now hosts Bible studies online on her Instagram platform for thousands of teenagers. And I'm so grateful for the light that she shines, right? Not because of the numbers that they impact, but more importantly, because of their choice to continue showing up in that space and choose to really pursue those God-given goals. I'll be joined by a few girls here locally in Las Vegas, so I'm excited to introduce those girls to everyone. And then I'll also be joined by Marlene Luna, who is the director of Pure Freedom Ministries in Spanish. So Pure Freedom Ministries is one of the largest girls groups in the country, but they also cover the Spanish speaking countries as well. And so she lives in the Dominican, so she's going to be calling in. And then we'll have Nicole Salmon from Toronto and lots of other women throughout the US. So it's going to be really good. I'm excited. I'm excited.
It sounds good. It sounds really good.
I can't wait to sit down and listen. You know, there's going to be a portion where I just literally get to ask them questions, and I cannot wait.
I know you can't. Well, that's good. That's really good. Hopefully we'll have a lot of girls tuning in from all over the world, you know. That's a really good thing just to have something like that at a time like this. You know, we're all at home right now, and what better way to sit at home than to sit home and listen to something like that? Very inspiring.
With
Very
Inspiring.
inspiring.
gratitude. I'm so big on bringing the participants into the experience. So I've got a couple
Mhm.
of teenage girls coming over tomorrow to help me plan how can we really make these giveaways, these challenges fun
That's good.
for everybody that's involved.
Right.
Right. Well, I will definitely be tuning in myself. So I'm excited as well. Okay. Well, Liv, tell a little bit about your testimony, your story. What drove you to want to do these type of things?
Ooh, girl.
I look, tell it. Sum
That's
it
a
up if you
whole
have
word.
to.
Okay. Let's see if I can give the abbreviated version.
Okay,
You
that's
know,
cool.
growing up, I am from a two-parent household, incredibly stable environment. And from the outside in, it truly did appear as if I had everything. And I was incredibly blessed. But I had so many different spiritual battles within my heart and within
Mhm.
my mind that drove me to distance myself from my parents and rebel against their instruction. And
Mhm.
so I got into all kinds of issues with those problems in my heart and in my even my mental space, right? I got into all kinds of issues. So I was very confrontational and I had been bullied when I was growing up, but I got tired of being bullied and I became the bully. And so there
Right.
was a
Mhm.
period in my life that was really tormented by a lot of fighting and by controversy. And so one of the reasons that I host these events is to remind girls and women that
Mhm.
we are so much more powerful together.
Yes.
You know, the problem with the fights that I was getting into was that I didn't feel as if home was a safe place. And that was a trick of the enemy because my
Mhm.
mom has always been on my side. And I'm so grateful that we get to work together now. But at the time, I didn't feel that way. And so I would bring all of that conflict that I experienced with other girls into our relationship. And
Mhm.
it became incredibly controversial. So not only did I have issues with other girls, but I also had issues with my own mom. And I didn't feel as if I could talk with her. So one component of these events are to draw girls closer together through the transparency and the vulnerability that we model and exemplify in our conversations. And
Mhm.
the other side is to really connect women across generations so that we can
That's
recognize
good.
that there's so much more power when we show up, listen to each other, and
Yes.
support one another. So
That's
I'm
good.
I'm honored to do these. You know, there's a whole nother side where I refuse to let people see how broken my heart was, how messy
Right.
I was within my thinking. And so I made the grades. I was involved in the athletics. I was in drama. I played the upright bass. Like on paper, once again, I looked like I had it going on and I had every goal that you could ever imagine, but I had none, absolutely none for my relationship with God that would
Right.
draw me closer to Him and really help me to settle down and see if any of the things that I were pursuing would actually be to my benefit or if it was just driving me crazy even further.
Mhm. And that's good. That's really good. You know, I've been knowing you for quite some time now. You're married to my cousin. But just on the outside looking in, just meeting you for the first time or just knowing you now, I would have never guessed. Of course, I know now, you know, but I would have never guessed looking at you that you went through those things. And I can say for girls that's looking up to you, that helps them to open up and feel more comfortable because they will be like, look at her, she's successful now, you know, and it just helps them to just, you know, to see that I can be somebody. I don't have to be the way I am. I can change. She changed. You know, and now she's helping others. That's so good. Like you're a very positive role model. That's good because, girl, I could never imagine you trying to fight somebody.
Okay,
I, I can't imagine that.
So the thing is that I never necessarily said I could fight, okay? But I did say I fought a lot. So let's get the facts straight. I have a big mouth. I've always had a big mouth. And so what I have found is that girls who are incredibly confrontational really truly make the best intercessors. And what I did not know at the time is that Ephesians 6:12 tells us that we're not fighting against flesh and blood. We are fighting against evil rulers and authorities in high places.
Yes.
We're fighting against, those mighty powers in this dark world. We are fighting against evil spirits in heavenly places. If I had known what I know now, I would have been able to redirect that. So now I still fight, but I fight in the spirit, and I know who I'm fighting. And so it's my hope that I can remind girls, honey, she's not your enemy. I know that she looks like she doesn't like you. I know that y'all have beef right now, but it's the spirit of jealousy that you're fighting. It's the spirit of bitterness that you're fighting.
Come on.
That is the honest God truth. That's it. That is it. And I wish I would have known that, coming up, because I never got into like an actual fight, but I would argue with girls and I would have beef with girls, but it was all for naught, all for nothing, So, another question, what would you say to a girl or a mother that's dealing with anxiety or depression?
Yeah, I would say that we are going to talk about some of that during Unconditional. But for right now, I want you to remember that Psalm 37:4 tells us that when we delight in the Lord, he gives us the desires of our heart. The first thing that we have to do is take the time to delight in him, to take the time to settle everything down and just spend time in his presence, because we really don't have to be anxious for anything when we recognize that we serve a abundant God who is here for us, who loves us and wants to see us live our best lives unlike anything we could ever imagine. When we take that first step, he settles everything in our hearts and in our minds. He directs our days, and he fills us up not only with the desires of our heart in the seed form as the dream, but also through the fulfillment of those action plans and those desires and those goals. In his timing. I found that his presence is just, it's irreplaceable, and it is incomparable to anything.
It is. It is. And
I can kind of relate, because during this season with everything going on in the beginning, I started to deal with anxiety myself. And if I tell you the truth, that if I did not know how to seek God in those moments, I could have easily lost it. I really had to dig into his word and say, God, what do you say about this anxiety? And his word says so much about being anxious. Like it's all through the Bible. And it helped me so much. But that's really, I can't wait. Like, I cannot wait. And it's so good that you're not just doing it for the daughters, but also the mothers too. And just to bring that link together, because for me, I see in this generation is that's a broken link right now. You don't see a lot of real mother-daughter relationship. It's kind of like best friend type thing. I club with you and that type of thing, but not really a mother-daughter relationship that they should be having. So and a lot of girls don't want to talk about this because they're afraid of being scolded for saying, "Oh, I'm not good enough for you," or you know what I'm saying? Just causing trouble in their relationship that they have already. So to have an outlet. I know me in the beginning when I was younger, me and my mom didn't have the best relationship. And and I kind of dealt with it my own way. But once I got older, I needed my mom. And at the same time, not knowing that she needed me just as much. So mending that relationship just made us so much better. And I wish I would have done it sooner, So this is going to help a lot of girls.
I hope, Titus 2 tells those older women to, teach the younger women.
Uh-huh.
And it's so important that we not lose that connection.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Instagram earlier today and I had to reshare it through the Colorfully Candid stories because I read a quote that gave me chills. It said, generational trauma can pass from one generation to the next, but so can generational healing. So
Oh,
we are not just
that's
in
good.
for ourselves, but we are
That's good.
in it to grow as a collective force because
Yes.
our mamas, they still have life in them. They still
Yes,
have
they do.
goals in them that
Yes, they
they
do.
need to realize. And if we as their daughters can help push them further, help support them, help celebrate them as they have done for
Mm-hmm.
us, then it
Yes.
truly is an honor. So it's my hope to really establish conversations between the moms and the daughters, the mentors and the
That's
girls, and
good.
all girls have mamas who are interested in attending with them. But conversations that they can leave with after and continue having in their own space
Yes.
so that
Yes,
that
and those,
daughter can get to
that's
know her
good.
mom too.
Yes, and those conversations bring so much healing. So much healing. It does, and it really sets you free. Like, it really does. That's good. I'm so excited. So this is a topic that I like to talk about because it's so precious. And it's about girls waiting to have sex for marriage. What do you have to say about that?
Mm. So you are actually hitting on the theme in every single part of the questions that you ask. And we didn't even review these beforehand. We are going to be talking about how God knows us deeply. But we're really going to do a deep dive into the need to rise above compromise. This
Mm-hmm.
world and our culture will tell us that we need to lower our standards if we're truly going to meet our goals in every
Mm.
way, whether it's through our dating relationships or whether it is through our professional goals that we set. But the truth is that when we choose to consecrate ourselves before the Lord, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that's a big biblical word that truly means to commit yourself
Yes.
to God. When you choose to consecrate yourself to the
Yes.
Lord, you will truly experience his best. The word says that eyes
Mm-hmm.
have not seen, ears have not heard, nor the
Yes.
heart of man imagined what the Lord has prepared for those who love us. So
Yes.
on the topic of maintaining your purity and remaining abstinent and even celibate for those who may have taken that first step and want to retrace their steps, I say that please pursue that at all costs because you will
Mm-hmm.
be so blessed. I had the opportunity to become celibate after making a mistake in college. And I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you that my friends would tell me, Liv, honey, you're never going to get married, or you're going to be one of the last ones to get married because, and they really were referencing my choice to commit myself to God, to remain celibate, even when it meant that guys were like, yo, I was interested in you, but I can't get with that. And
Yeah.
I have to tell you that I was definitely not one of the last ones to get married. I was married within God's timing, and God sent me a husband
Right.
who was comfortable and excited to join that journey with me. We didn't do
Yes.
it perfectly, but I'm super grateful that he was willing to embrace
Yes.
that part of my
Mm-hmm.
spiritual journey with me. So girls, maintain it. But more importantly, watch what you're listening to. Watch
Yes.
where you're going. Watch who
Mm-hmm.
you're hanging out with.
Say
Watch
that.
what you're watching because
Mm-hmm.
your purity can be compromised in so many other ways
Yes.
beyond your sexual relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
it truly does matter. So we're going to be talking about how to rise
Yes.
above
That's good.
compromise and live a consecrated life because I promise you're going to be blessed. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
In this season, I was telling DJ, I felt like God was pulling me away from social media for a lot of reasons. For one, it's just coming out of what I came out of. I spoke to you about it. It was just too much for my mind. I had to focus on what really matters. And, we only really use Facebook for our business. And so DJ's been handling that side for me. But I just feel like I just need to dive deeper in the Word of God, you know. And one thing I know that I need to deal with in this time is procrastinating, putting stuff off. Like, that's why I said, like, I could have easily said today, like, okay, because that's what I do. Yeah, we'll reschedule. We'll reschedule. But no, I'm going to do this. I don't care how I feel. I'm learning not to be moved by how I feel, you know, because that's not faith. How did you start off by like motivating yourself to do it? Like, because we listened to this lady, I can't remember her name, but she was in debt. She had 4 children at the time. She was married. She was in she lost her car and she was about to lose her home. And she said she was tired of losing stuff. And she was like, what can I do? So she had $5 and she called her mom or grandma and said, I need a recipe. I want to cook a cake and sell cakes.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh man, I love her story. And she said the thing that people are afraid of, they are not afraid of failing, but they're afraid of being successful. Because if they are successful, they will have to get up every day no matter how they feel. They have to work at it. They can't stop. You know what I'm saying? So what drove you? Like,
I would say that one thing that a mentor of mine shared was that she said that God had given her a book, and the hardest thing that she'd ever had was putting it off until she walked in Barnes and Noble and saw her book.
Wow.
Same title, same subject, and I still get chills. And she said that she was just like, you have to do it. And you have to do it within the timing that he says, because he wants it done. And if you say no, he will find someone who will say yes. And I have chills every time I repeat that story, because I appreciate her choice to mentor me from that place of pain that she'd found. You know, she had an incredibly lucrative, and just when I say lucrative, I mean just, you know, just full ministry. And so God restored to her what, you know, what she felt that she lost, but she did not write that book. And so I just appreciate her choice to share that story with me. And I was incredibly grateful. And after that, after I heard that, I was just like, all right, I'm going to be among those who say, yes, Lord.
Yes.
You know, and it does require a lot of self-motivation. So I do a couple of things. You know, I do listen to a couple of different preachers that inspire me. It doesn't matter if I listen to them for 45 minutes or 3. And if I just hear them, I'm like, okay, you know what? Yes, because you're not going to leave me out here. I'm coming so.
I know, that's right.
I sometimes read books, you know, if it's something that I'm reading at that moment that's incredibly encouraging and motivating. But other times I do the thing that I don't want to do first. I read that, and I found that tip in a book by Gretchen Rubin called The Happiness Project. And she said, do the things that bring you the least joy first, because they're hanging over your head anyway. You can't even enjoy the things that you enjoy because you're constantly thinking about that other thing that you were supposed to be doing. And so you do it first, you'll actually feel amazing, you know, and then when you finish it, you'll be free to do the things that you really, truly enjoy from that book.
I need the name of that book, ma'am. I need you to text me. And that's crazy, because I love reading. I love writing, especially before I had kids and got married. That was just my thing. And now I will literally start reading a book and never finish. That says a lot about a person. You know what I mean? And I want to change that about me. I start something, but I don't finish. And I have a very creative mind. There's so much I want to create. I want to invent something. I told DJ I want us to make money while we're sleeping. So I have to create something to do that, you know? It's just that I don't finish. I start it, but I don't finish. I think it, I speak it, and that's it. And I'm just tired of being at that place, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because I would say that this conversation probably replicates a lot of different conversations I've had with other leaders in the kingdom, because God has been leading me to study integrity. And so sometimes he'll even give you a word just to study and just to pray over, over yourself. But integrity, when we think of it, we often think of it of being the same person behind the scenes as we are in front. And that's true, because it means you're complete. You're completely the same person in public as you are in private. But the true definition of it, when you go back and you research, the foundation of the word is to be complete, to complete something, to exhaust it. And so, I think that once again, I just think that when God does shine light on an area of weakness and an opportunity for growth, it's just that, an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for us to be like, thank you, Lord. I appreciate you showing me that. Now I need you to move in this space.
Yes.
In our weakness, his strength is perfected,
It is. It is. And I definitely trust that. And I always pray, God, show me the steps that I need to take. And he's like, I done showed you so many steps, and you done you done skipped it. You started it, but you didn't finish. I'm like, okay, I hear you, God.
I hear you.
I mean, in that case, well, you'll have to just consider this with your husband and everything, but fasting always helps as well. And different types. It doesn't always have to be fasting from all food, but when I will tell you that I had an event, another unconditional, and I was lackadaisical, and I was just like not motivated, and I was just work on it when I felt like and wouldn't other times. And God showed up. But when I tell you, I felt so raggedy, and I felt so guilty, because I was like, oh, I didn't do nothing I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
It truly drove me to realize this can't happen again. So what can change? Well, I'm still the same person. And to be honest, quarantine is real, and everything that's going on in our world can be incredibly defeating. And so in that instance, it's just like, okay, God, I'm gonna go on a fast, because I have to be able to hear from you. I don't even know. I'm so overwhelmed with how much stuff I got to do. I don't even remember which step was first.
Right.
And so, that fast just brings that flesh low and, and helps us hear from God,
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. And girl, I gotta get it together.
You got it though. And that is what so many of my friends have been saying. Like, please let us have grace for ourselves in this season. You know what I'm saying? Because the emotional intensity of the times that we are in are incredibly real.
Yes.
And we as leaders in the kingdom probably feel that even more so, because we are aware of the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? And so give yourself some grace, girl. Give yourself some grace. You are doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm sure DJ will probably share some of this.
Yeah, I was trying to sit up, and then I was like,
it's okay. It's okay. It's raw and uncut. Because I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this in this moment. So I'm sure it could help somebody else as well. So
that's the only thing. That's the only reason we do any of this. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's the only reason. And that's our purpose. That's who we are as children of God. And I always tell people, like, what I get, I don't supposed to keep it all for myself. I'm supposed to pour into somebody else. And that's how I look at it, Because I had this girlfriend, she wanted help doing some stuff with her podcast, her videos. Anyways, we were just helping her. And she was like, why do y'all want to help me? Do I owe y'all something? I was like, no. I said, I don't supposed to just store up and get fat and not share it with anybody else. I said, what I give to you, you give to somebody else. It's supposed to keep going. It's an ongoing thing. It does not stop. I want to see everybody win. Black, white, Chinese, Asian, whatever. I don't care what color. Yeah, young, old, we want to see everybody win. So that's my whole purpose of the thing. Yes, ladies, listen, y'all have to tune in. Have to tune in. Liv, tell these people where they can find you at your Instagram, your Facebook. Let them know.
Yeah. I'm at Candid Liv on Instagram and Facebook. That's CandidLiv, because my name is short for Olivia. And I'm also at Colorfully Candid on Instagram and Facebook as well. If you want to get registered to the conference, you can find it at candidlive.eventbrite.com. And I also have websites with the blogs and all the things to keep you fulfilled in the Word of God at every age that you may find yourself in this moment.
Yes. And again, you guys, we'll have those links down below, so you'll be sure to find her and you'll be able to tune in. So, Liv, would you like to share anything else with the ladies?
I just want to remind you all that you are loved. I know that there's so much going on in our world right now. I know that it can be incredibly overwhelming. I know that it can be so tempting just to turn it all off and to drown everything out. But I want you to know that this time that we are encountering has the greatest potential to pull every strength that is deep down on the inside of you out of you. The word tells us in James chapter 1 to consider it joy when we are tested of every kind. And I want you guys to look that up for yourself. I want you to get it in your spirit, and I want you to know that your tests do not invalidate any love that God has for you. They don't stand in opposition to it. The tests come because God does love us and because he does have plans for us. So please know that you are loved.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Liv, for joining us today and sharing that awesome news. We cannot wait.
So
thank you.
That is it.
That is it.